Our natal chart is a diagram or map of our soul, and understanding how you filter your reality can be seen through your natal chart. But if we really want to know thyself, then we must go deeper. We must become the observer of ourselves as we live our daily lives. The simple and most overlooked truth is that we our life, because there can be no separation between us and our perspective of our reality. We are the light of our world. Welcome to Starwell Astrology. My name is Sharrie, and I am a Western tropical astrologer, and I specialize in shadow work. I want to mention that I do offer personal natal chart readings. And if you are interested in shadow work, I also offer that as an additional service for one-on-one coaching. You can reach me at my information below or send me an email at starwellastro@gmail.com. If you like this material, subscribe and like. It does help my channel to grow. Because we are the light of our world, this is literally shown in our natal chart as the sun sign. It is a point in which each of us personally project an individual identity into reality, which is a projection from pure consciousness into the physical world. Try to picture this. The center of the universe exists everywhere in the eternal now moment, while this same center also exists within each of us, and this is our sun sign. Quantum physics has shown that we live in an all-in-one universal consciousness that materializes everywhere equally all at once in the now moment. Yet we all represent an illuminating center, which is our sun sign. Subsequently, each individual is the center point of consciousness existing individually as a fractal called a soul, but while interdependent on the whole of humanity. The whole means our whole natal chart, but also the whole means all things manifested in our perceived universe. Each of us are an essential part of the whole, but from a unique and singular subjective perspective. Because of this, it is important to see the entire scope of our reality. And yet, if we're to consider a more objective viewpoint, as the awareness, we can broaden our view of reality to know that everything in this physical world is experienced through us in ways that is specific to us. Therefore, what we manifest is based on the context in which we perceive our personal reality. So with shadow work, we hone in on this viewpoint. How am I perceiving my reality through my conditioned filters? To know this, we now need to look at the moon sign and our ascendant sign in our natal chart. But first, we might want to start by asking questions such as, how conscious am I of my perceived reality? This is an important question to ask ourselves, and our honesty is essential. The sun sign holds this answer, and by asking this question, we open the door for self-observation. Just as the sun hovers over us in the sky, casting light down on us in our material world, its light illuminates reality and makes us conscious and aware of our material world. From this perspective, we might be able to know that as above, so below. So the sun sign helps us to have a more objective view of ourselves, and this is essential in shadow work. But this only works if we are truly able to hold ourselves accountable. It is essential that we take the stance that what we experience in our world comes through our personal ability to perceive it. It is crucial that we see ourselves more objectively. The power to know thyself more directly is in our hands, and we tend to give this away to those we believe who have caused us the hurt we feel. These are some of the key things with shadow work. We start to see that we are the key point in our reality and therefore the master of ourselves. And in order to truly own our power, which is our sun sign, we must own all parts of ourselves, including how we experience our reality based on what we're feeling. And to broaden our scope, we do need to consider our ascendant, which is our conditioned ego identity, which is the personality that we show the world. We must also look at our moon sign because it's our subconscious and unconscious memories that is operating through our connection to our family and our ancestral lineage. The moon is tied to past lives, among many other things. In our natal chart, the sun is our point of consciousness that shines through the sign and house it falls in. So, for example, the sun in Gemini, we tend to experience our sun from a more immature and inexperienced perspective until we learn to work with our sun sign from a more objective perspective. So with the sun in Gemini, we might be more scattered. We might try to gather as much information as we can, and we want it to be logical and linear. And also, Geminis can be seen as two-faced because they don't pick a side. They tend to want to see all the different sides to, or at least two sides to something. They want to know they have choices all the time. An immature or inexperienced Gemini sun sign also tends to be unemotional, and they don't really want deep, intimate connections. They prefer the more superficial, conversational, and witty banter between two people. So in relationships, they tend to keep things on the surface. But the higher, more authentic expression of Gemini sun sign can be present, and they can be open to the now moment because they actually are a naturally curious sign that is willing to stay open to see different sides of things. They also can be intuitive because they're an air sign. And if they start to trust their intuition and to stay more open and objective to themselves, their awareness can expand. And this allows them to get access to a higher or deeper or broader dimension of themselves. Now, the house that the sun falls in will show how we demonstrate these potentials in the world. And if the Gemini sun sign is in the 11th house, we're able to communicate these ideas to large groups or to friends or also some sort of media or social outlets. They can also use this as a way to communicate through maybe the internet. Our moon sign shows us how we filter our reality based on what feels safe and comfortable. So the moon adds a filter over the sun's consciousness, which helps to shape our identity in the world based on how we are filtering reality. In the sky above us, the moon needs the sun's light to become visible to our physical eyes here on Earth. Likewise, the moon in the natal chart needs to work with the sun to show us how we are perceiving our reality. In other words, we experience reality through the filters of our moon sign as it perceives the sun's pure light that we call pure consciousness. So the moon's light is secondary to the sun's light. We can look at the moon's proximity to the sun, meaning look at the moon's aspect to the sun in a natal chart to get a good sense of how we are filtering our reality. The sign and house that the moon is located in will also give us a good idea of how reality gets filtered through the emotional condition lens of that sign and house that it falls in. And this will show us how our behavior is based on what makes us feel happy, safe, and comfortable. The ascendant sign adds another layer over our core essence, which is our sun sign. So the sun's light, or our pure essence, who we are as an authentic soul, gets filtered through all the planets in the natal chart. But the core filters are the moon and the ascendant sign. So it is important to point out that all the other planets and points play important roles for the core personality. But the core personality is first shaped by the sun sign, which is our connection to our past lives through our genetic cellular memory. It is also our ancestry and our unconscious memories, which we carry in our DNA on an emotional level that also filters out the sun's pure essence, and it casts a shadow on who we are, which is what I call the filter over the personality. So we tend to experience our reality based on an emotional connection to our past life, our ancestry line, our unconscious memories, and it's stored on an emotional level. Now, the ascendant is quite vast because it's a combination of everything in the natal chart. And so this can be a major barrier that filters out the authentic core essence of our sun sign. And the ascendant shapes the personality based on our culture, traditions, community, our race, our religion, our sex, our gender, our status, and our education. First, it's the moon and then the ascendant, followed by the other planets and points in the natal chart, and they all have some sort of filter over the pure essence of our sun sign. So, with this in mind, our sun sign does not get to operate in its purest essence. It has many overlays that we can begin to remove or uncover or investigate with the help of getting to know thyself. And for me personally, the most helpful tool has been shadow work. Another way to see this is to imagine a film projector. This will give us an idea of how we're perceiving our reality. The sun is the light that is coming through the projector. The moon is the emotional filter that casts shadows on the sun's light, or the light coming through the projector. So the image that is cast onto the screen is the one that's playing the role, and that's the ascendant sign. The ascendant is the main character on the stage called life, and it will operate based on the filters of the moon. So the natal chart shows us that we are born in a physical world on a cross of matter that rules the four elements to manifest reality. And the four major cusps of the natal chart are the ascendant, the descendant, the IC, and the MC. And they are the four sensitive points in the natal chart ruling the four major areas of life, as well as the four elements here on earth, which are fire, water, air, and earth. Now, the ascendant sign is the first house cusp, which represents our point of entry into the material world. This is ruled by the fire element. Fire is the divine spark that initiates life in the physical world of form. And the ascendant represents the instinctive drive and personal willpower we have to take action in the world. This also shapes and defines our personality, which is the character we are born to play in this world. Now, the IC falls on the fourth house cusp, and that rules the element of water. The fourth house rules home and family. It represents our roots and our foundation that is tied to our ancestry line. Water represents our emotional desires and our conscious and unconscious memories. These emotional memories affect us in our daily choices and contribute to our identity in the world. The descendant sign falls on the seventh house cusp and represents our relationship with our outer world and others. This is ruled by the element of air, and air is our ability to interact, connect, and communicate with others. Relationships with others are an essential part of our existence since we are interdependent on each other for our survival on every level. Now, the MC is the highest point in the natal chart, and it rules the element of earth. The element of earth is essential for manifesting our physical reality, which gets flavored by all the other elements to produce and express an external world. Now, the MC represents our career and how we are seen in the world. It's our titles, our status, and our reputation. And it's also the role that we're playing in our public life in the world. So the natal chart is a diagram or map of the soul, and understanding how we filter our reality can be seen in our natal chart. And how we tend to approach our natal chart is very important. Rather than looking at it as a linear and logical, two-dimensional piece of information, we need to see it how this literally operates through us. And as we go deeper, we must become the observer of ourselves as we live our daily lives. And by witnessing ourselves in each moment, we can really get to know what our true motivations are. What we focus on, both mentally and emotionally, is crucial to our self-realization. So witnessing or self-observation is a practice at first. It is a practice that is essential for shadow work, but also this practice becomes a way of life because we realize that witnessing ourselves is our most natural state, because we are aware and conscious beings when we realize that as our natural state, it's our choice to become aware and more objective and observant of ourselves as we continue to live our lives. We tend to place our focus on the material world and we get lost in our experiences. We identify with what we're thinking and feeling while we engage in our experiences, and we don't want to leave enough space to allow ourselves to be more aware and conscious of our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our choices, and our behavior. But we have to get comfortable with witnessing ourselves if we really want to know thyself. As we grow in our awareness, we start to notice how we are choosing to live on autopilot instead of making conscious choices. Self-witnessing helps us to grow in awareness, and this is essential, as I said, for shadow work. So unless we become conscious of how we're operating from our repetitive patterns, which is also being shown in the natal chart based on our ascendant and our moon sign and all the other planets in the chart, unless we can become aware of how we're operating through these filters, we can get stuck in a repetitive loop of repeating the same behavior over and over again. And by being able to witness ourselves, we can start to spot our patterns, how we continue to do the same thing over and over again. But not just spot our patterns, but also notice our motivations, our emotional connection to why we're repeating these patterns. We can look inside and see ourselves more clearly and begin to make more conscious choices that helps us to align in our soul's mission, which is our authentic self, which is our sun sign, which is pure consciousness. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you will consider subscribing and liking this video. And also I want to mention again that I do offer personal natal chart readings, and with the option of shadow work, if you are interested, my information is below. Thank you and goodbye.